Welcome back to the OurMFC YouTube channel. It's another latest news. So 4 in a row. I know. You're all thinking it. Why is he back?
Why?
Couldn't tell you. But I am. So let's get into it. So the first bit of news this week, there's quite a lot to get through. Is that apparently Yannick Bolasie, is asking for 50 grand a week, which, simply put, we can't afford. The club can't afford to be paying 50 grand a week for someone in the current climate. We've just got Brits' wages off the book. At least we're about to. Same with Fletcher and possibly a few others. As much as I'd like him back, it's not a smart move to pay him 50 grand a week. That is what he's asking for. I mean, I understand it. That's what he's been paid on. There's probably certain expenses that he's got that justify that. I don't know what's going on really. But if what we've been told is to be believed, then Bolasie is asking 50 grand a week, and I think it's unlikely he'll be joining, which is a shame because it would have been great to have him next season. With fans back in. That kind of player, he can really, lift the crowds, almost justify the entry fee alone. I mean, it's a bit extortionate anyway, but we won't get onto that. So yeah, it's a shame, but hopefully we look at younger players and try and really build for the future. Next up, another, potential deal scuppered by wages. Apparently, Famara Jeju from Bristol City, who we could have gotten a free. Apparently, he's not coming again. Apparently, he's asking for really high wages, which I mean, I feel like this might be a wake up call for a few players at the moment. I feel like maybe they'll introduce a salary cap, which is something I'd probably quite like to see, because it means that I think it could help clubs financially, not having to pay this much on wages. We don't want another Bury or another Bolton really, and I think that could probably help with that. But yeah, Jeju apparently not coming to Boro, if our sources are to be believed. Speaking of strikers, who are probably paid a fair whack, Chuba Akpom, he's apparently been offered to a number of clubs in the EFL, including QPR, Bristol City. Would have been, a little swap deal. Well, I'd say swap deal for JG, but he's leaving on a free. Charlton and Nottingham Forest, which I think is a shame. Because I think he's not a bad player. He just doesn't fit the system Warnock's trying to play. And I wouldn't like to see us, because we won't get the money back fully. Like, we paid 2.7 for him. After this season, people aren't going to pay 2.7 for him in the Championship because of the financial situation and because of his performances, which again I don't think is fully down to him. I think the system that we've got doesn't suit him, and I question the scouting really. If we're going to bring in a player that likes to play on the floor and likes to run in behind, when we're trying to play a long ball system, it doesn't really make sense. Whether that be the recruitment team or Neil Warnock, don't shoot me. I love the man, but this was his decision to bring in Chuba to try and play a system, and then instead of adapting to the strengths of Chuba, because I think he could do really well. You saw at PAOK in Greece where he signed him from, he was doing well. I think they obviously played to his strengths, which is something that we haven't done. So I wouldn't like to see him go. I mean, call me crazy. I think I'd rather keep him than Warnock personally. Now, again, Neil Warnock, forever in our hearts. He's not dead, by the way, but I love the man. For what he's done for us, he's saved us last season relegation. Played this season. There was hope for the playoffs, and I'm optimistic for next season. I think we could be a tough summer, but I think a playoff push definitely isn't out of the question. I do worry a bit about the quality of the other sides that are coming down, and Brentford stay in the division, or Barnsley, all those clubs. I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I don't think a playoff push is out of the reckoning for next season. But I'm not a massive fan of the style of play, and I feel like, personally, would I rather have younger players like Chuba, I think he's like 25. So he's got several years left in him. He's probably reaching his peak in the next couple of years. So would I rather have players like that can play, more Karanka style football, than, an old manager who's probably got one season left? Again, I love him. But personally, what I would like to see us do was bring in maybe a Chris Wilder. I don't think he'd really fit either. I don't know. But I think it'd be a shame to see Chuba go, especially because he actually hasn't been that bad this season, all things considered. I think he's on 6 or 7 goal involvements. He's up there near the top. I think George Savile's top with 10. So I think he gets a bit of unnecessary stick. Next, Callum Cavanagh, the talented Irish youngster in the academy. He's joined up with the Republic of Ireland for a training camp, which is, that's great to see. There's been a lot of hype around him these last few years. I know I've played with him on Football Manager. I was putting him on my TV, by the way, because Football Manager. And he's pretty good on that. So, and then usually pretty good at scouting things. But yeah, it's good to see a young Boro player, going away on a training camp with their national team. At only 17, I think he might be 18 now, but he's definitely not more than that. So that's great to see. Good luck to the lad. Maybe you can get himself in the squad. Yeah, it's great to see, isn't it? Now, to put a downer on it, it's not looking likely that Mendez-Laing is going to be offered a new deal, reportedly, which is a shame. I think like a lot of Boro fans, when he came in, were excited to see what he could do. Because in that Cardiff side under Warnock, he was great. I'm pretty sure I remember him scoring a goal against Man United at Old Trafford. So, I don't know if we're playing them anytime soon. FA Cup final, anyone? And I think it's a shame how it turned out if he is going to leave. Obviously he's had some problems in his personal life in the past. And I hope the best for him. It's just a bit of a shame how it's turned out if he's going to leave, especially because of that saucy chip against Stoke. My word, whew, that was good. So it'd be a shame to see him go, but especially with the fact that we are lacking a bit of depth up front. What with Cavanagh and Bolasie probably not coming back. We lose Mendez-Laing as well as another wide player. We're a bit thin on the ground. Back to the good news though. Youngsters Jack Robinson and Isaiah Cornet have signed new contracts at the club. Which is, it can only be a good thing, really, can't it? Tying down young players to new deals. What's not to love? You got Kavanagh going on that training camp, and you got Robinson and Cornet signing new deals. Coburn scoring his first goal. Malley getting a player of the match on his debut. The golden thread, just without Woodgate at the top, which some would say is a positive. Probably agree. But he's done well at Bournemouth, to be fair. Yeah. How have we got on to talking about Johnny Woodgate now? Oh well. It happens. Good on him. Not for what he did at Boro. That wasn't great. But we move. And we have moved. And speaking of moves, nice segue. You like that? I liked it. Apparently, when I say apparently, we have signed the goalkeeper Joe Lumley on a 2-year deal. Apparently, there's an optional extension in there for another year. Brought him in from QPR. I think it was an end of contract deal. I think they let him go, and we snapped him up. So Joe Lumley, he's played 5 times this season in the Championship for QPR, and he's picked up 3 clean sheets in that time. It's a small sample size, but 79.2% pass accuracy. It's not bad. So could be good for distribution. If you want to play long ball, that's the kind of stuff you're going to want. Someone who can knock it forward with precision up to, I was going to say James Collins from Luton, but apparently he's going Cardiff. So Kiefer more vibes. He's pulling off 1.8 saves a game, which does suggest that he's not been that troubled in front of, with that QPR back line in front of him. Suggests that they haven't really been facing too many shots. But then again, neither has Bettinelli this season. And hopefully Joe Lumley's got arms. Sorry, Marcus. But you're better than Brad Guzan. It's not really a compliment, is it? You're better than me. It's also not a compliment. And I think it's a good deal. I don't know what the wages are, obviously, but for 2, maybe 3 years, he's only 26. It's another keeper. Means we've got someone there, especially if we're going to keep Jordan Archer as the backup, who's looked all right. He hasn't really set the world on fire. But it's a good start to get the business done early. So thank you for watching. I'll probably catch you on the next one. Hit like and subscribe down there. And see you later.